Hey everybody, Adam Savage alongside Brandon Elger from Propstore.
Hey, Adam.
Sir. When I come down to Propstore to do videos, we look at the catalogs you guys send. We come up with our hit list, and invariably every time I come down, I'm always like, what is that? And I pointed at these because I really could not place them. And the answer, well, you clicked on the link. Tell me what these are.
These are the eyes of Bruce the Shark from Jaws. So look, at Propstore, we love blockbusters, right? Items from blockbusters, that's what people like to collect. What blockbuster is more known than Jaws, the original blockbuster, really?
The inventor of the blockbuster and the inventor of the monster, of the modern American franchise monster film.
And 50th anniversary this year, so a lot of talk about Jaws this summer. I think they've done some anniversary events at the Academy Museum. I think they've been doing things out on Martha's Vineyard. Just a lot going on with Jaws. And these are some of the few authentic Jaws 1, the first film, pieces that we've ever had come through our hands at Propstore.
This is I was going to ask how many pieces of right.
It's just there's not much from the shark. There's not much from Jaws as a movie. It's just most of Jaws is so real world. The clothing, the dive artifacts, the boat pieces. It's also an interesting title with collecting. Very controversial. There are pieces out there in the collecting sphere
that might not be authentic.
There's just a lot of
original.
questions. Look, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I guess there are questions, is what I could say.
You're being very gracious about it. I've seen a lot of direct copies go up from other auction sites here and there. It's a crowded space.
It's also something where, years ago, I went and chatted with a gentleman named Roy Arbogast, who was special effects on Jaws, and he had some of the shark fins that were used as, insert pieces, the big dorsal fin on the back. And I said to him, are they from Jaws 1? And he was like, I really don't know. He worked on all 4 Jaws, and he said, we had them at the end of all the Jaws.
Right.
Did they trace back to earlier Jaws? Very possibly. Do we know that definitively? No. And it's just, and this comes up a lot in collecting original props. You don't have perfect information. You don't have the full story of something. And then we try to back into it through research. I have a feeling ultimately those fins were likely made for Jaws 4, Jaws 3, something like that. But these we know are Jaws 1. Yeah, and one of the reasons we know that is we have a copy of a local newspaper.
Oh, no
so this
way.
This is a Sunland newspaper from 1975, dated August 29th, 8th, 1975. And this is the gentleman who is the lead builder on the Bruce Shark, Bob Mattey.
And here he is holding exactly one of these eyes.
Yeah, and you can see the kind of it's this one. You can see that little pattern.
Look at that,
there.
you can.
You can literally see that in the photo from 1975. And this article is all about him as a special effects guy and the types of creatures that he builds and building the Jaws shark. So this is just totally intrinsic to the history of this piece. This was saved by the gentleman who has had these for about 45 years. He said he got them in about 1980, and he was Bob Mattey's neighbor.
Oh my gosh.
And Bob Mattey was moving out of that house, and he was getting rid of stuff, and he said, can I have the shark eyes?
Well, there's this amazing, perfect monologue where Quint, played by Robert Shaw, talks about sharks have black eyes like doll's eyes. And it's amazing to see them. And here's something
you did that well, by the way.
I do, thank you. I didn't know, but these are clear cast.
Yeah.
Which itself was non-trivial in 1975.
Right,
They're using probably polyester resin, which cracks if you get it too thick.
Okay.
So they're having to slow down its casting process.
You see made in 2 halves, right?
I mean, maybe these were purchased acrylic hemispheres. I don't know. But I love just knowing that they made giant eyeballs for this thing.
Yeah, right. And it's not just a black sphere. And then this little, white part around the edge, which I think does come into the shot in a few instances. You'll just see the white around the edge of the eye. And they're mechanical.
Right. Oh, right. We got the first one actually moving slightly. You want to show?
Yeah, so this one, they've taken the piston out, but if I can move this, see the eye move?
So it has side to side, and they were activated by these pistons.
Yeah.
Pneumatic pistons. I also think it's, so I looked this up off camera. You and I were both noting that it looks like an aircraft interior. Well, they paint aircraft interiors with zinc chromate.
That's what the green color is.
Well, zinc chromate is yellow, and it's a good primer, but in order to make it UV protective, they add black to it, and that ends up turning it greenish.
Oh, okay.
It's an etching primer, which means that it will go over stuff that's greasy and work its way through the grease to the base metal.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense that they would use this for a metal device that's both aluminum and steel, but that is doing its work in salt water.
All right. I mean, you would need to really coat these with something like automotive coating almost, right?
Yeah,
To weatherproof it, rust-proof it. It's going to sit out in the sea for months. And you know, the green color was one of the things that we were really drawn to when we first looked at these. You know, before we'd seen the newspaper article, we were saying, are these definitely it? And when you go and look at the B-roll footage from Jaws, where you can see the interior of the shark, everything is this green color.
That makes total sense.
It was instantly a little piece of authenticating information for us.
We just did a video about a garage kit that someone makes of the interior mechanics of Bruce.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. It's like there's nothing so
okay.
esoteric that someone hasn't made a kit out of it. This feels like such a rare thing for you guys to obtain.
I mean, anything Jaws 1 is great, but to have an actual piece of the shark, I mean, look, it's a movie about a shark. So to have a piece from the shark is pretty epic. And, you know, to have the newspaper article that goes with it where you can photo match this piece, you know it's not from Jaws 2 because the article is dated 1975. Right. The green color tying into what you see on the internet. I mean, it's just really cool. It's esoteric, certainly. You know, I don't, like, if I didn't tell you, I don't know that you would have got to.
I definitely wouldn't have. I would have thought eyes of a giant monster of some kind.
Yeah, but very significant.
There's a funny thing about the ability to screen match this specific amount of worn away. Mm-hmm. That really indicates that this hasn't undergone a bunch more abuse since that photo was taken.
No, I think the gentleman's had these. It's taken good care of them. I mean, he knew they were a prize, and he always was sort of fascinated by them. So I think he's preserved them well in the past 4 decades.
I always picture someone just putting these in front of a big open window and letting the sun rot them out for decades. So I'm really glad that didn't happen
do that.
with these.
Yeah.
Look, these are without a doubt the biggest eye mechanic I've ever come across.
It's huge. Yeah. It's a huge piece of metalwork. But also, I guess, as they were disassembling it, maybe a great souvenir. And, you know, one of the things I wondered, I read briefly that there were 3 sharks, but I wonder, is that definitely true? Were there 3 full sharks? Or did they sort of have an idea of building 3 and then, because you always hear the story of the shark not working.
Right.
Does that mean 3 sharks weren't working? Or did they wind up only completing 1? I don't know. I'm sure someone knows. But
if I would just go off the top of my head, if you were making, yes, you want repeats when things break, but you're also going to service different shots with the different models. There might be one for being under the water, there might be one for being on top of the water. And it's certainly feasible that they might end up making 3 sets of eyes, but only using 1, because once they like a set and they like how they work, they're just not going to mess with them, right? That kind of thing happens.
But I'd love to know how many full sharks they wound up with. I'm gonna research that. Because when they say the shark is not working, should it be the sharks are not working? we gotta revise some history here.
They need to film a shark. So the shark we want to film isn't working.
Okay, I guess that works. Yeah.
Brandon, this might be one of my favorite weird ass things you guys have carried over the years.
We get some funky stuff. This is very funky, but very cool. I mean, Jaws, again, just the blockbuster of blockbusters. So.
Truly. I watch it probably once a year. Last year I was in Cape Cod. It was playing at the local theater.
Okay.
I went and saw it, and seeing Jaws in Cape Cod in the summer.
4th of July.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect experience. The auction is happening soon.
Yeah, September 4th to 6th. These are day 1 items, so they're going to be sold on September 4th. That's when a lot of the biggest pieces go in the sale. Days 2 and 3 is the more accessible, lower priced items. These are a star of the show, so they'll definitely be on that first day.
These are so beautiful. I'm so excited about whoever gets these. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, see you guys next time.
Thank you guys so much for watching that video. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you we have some excellent merch. We have a 5-pack of demerit badges for sale right now at tested/store.com. We've got the I hung it off of level demerit badge, the I built the chair backwards demerit badge, the I hit my thumb with a hammer demerit badge. We've got the stapler in my finger demerit badge, and my favorite, I stuck the duct tape to itself demerit badge. Get yours now, tested/store.store. Tested-store. Tested. It's right here. There. Just click there.